Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 117. Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, we all know that Prince Andrew is the big news right now. That's where everything is focused for the most part, and it should be. Prince Andrew has proven to be a liar. Prince Andrew has proven to be deceitful, and Prince Andrew has certainly proven to be a moron. So, with that said, we're going to discuss a report from the New York Post that says the British police are thinking about reopening their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's crew. So that would definitely be a welcome bit of news, right? Look, folks, I said it last night on the podcast, we've had some serious movement in this case, right? People might not be in handcuffs. That's the ultimate goal, right? For these people to face justice. But for these kind of folks, the folks that are socialites, supposedly, the ones that are always out gallivanting, the worst thing you can do to them is make them obscure. And that's exactly what's happening with all of these people. They're becoming obscure. Nobody wants to hang out with these people. They're toxic, right? And that's how it should have been from the very beginning. But no. He was enabled, and people around him who knew what he was doing looked the other way because it was convenient to them or their careers. And, it's gross to think about. It is absolutely gross to think about. And the fact that the British police have a closed case on this instead of having an ongoing investigation, considering their prince is accused of rape, all right? So, what the hell? You would think that the British police would want to do the right thing, but in 2016, they closed the case. Well, according to this New York Post article we're going to read in a few, they're going to reopen it, or at the very least, they're thinking about reopening it. So, I don't know. Again, I don't trust any of these police departments at this point, when it comes to this case especially. So is it just the British police posturing, perhaps? I don't know. It could be. I'm not, like I always say, I don't know much of how British society works. I've never really been someone who would study, the British politics or anything like that. So I don't really understand how their justice system even works. I'm sure it's, sort of similar to America's, but I would think that the police, and especially the police that are working, the city police, not federal maybe, but the city police, would definitely want to take this case on and see where it leads. These are the sort of cases that make careers for investigators. So I don't understand why none of these investigators are stepping up to the plate. We're talking, can you imagine the movie rights for one of these investigators if he happens to be the one that pulls Prince Andrew's card? Can you imagine those movie rights, those book rights, et cetera, et cetera? So I don't understand why none of these police officers would want to go after him. I know why the federal agents don't want to go after him, that's for sure. But you would think that it's the federales, as they call them down in Mexico, exerting pressure over the local police to make sure that the case doesn't go forward. Very similar to what we saw here in America. Now, I don't know that for sure, but that's what it looks like to me, on the outside looking in. So let's jump into this article and see what they have to say. Article is from the New York Post. Headline: British police may reopen investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's inner circle. Author Lee Brown. Produced January 29th, 2020. British police may soon reopen their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's inner circle in a probe expected to include the sordid accusations against Prince Andrew. It was revealed Wednesday. Okay, that's definitely promising. And when they say the inner circle, I wonder if it's going to be the whole inner circle, because we know that all of the ladies working under him, Leslie Groff, Adriana Ross, Kellen Vickers, they were all involved to the hip in all of this stuff. So you would have to think that they accompanied him to England, and they might be under the microscope there as well. I don't have any evidence of that, folks. It's just, 1 and 1 plus 1 usually equals 2, right? London's Met Police previously admitted it never held a full criminal investigation into the claims that Epstein trafficked girls to the UK for sexual exploitation. That in itself is egregious and gross. You don't have a full criminal investigation when the prince of your country is accused of raping somebody, when you for sure know that he hung out with the guy, you for sure know that he was enabling him, but yet you don't have the wherewithal or the cojones to open a full criminal investigation into these claims? Wow, whoever was in charge of that, you're a scumbag, and if you're still working, you should be fired. The move was widely slammed by Virginia Roberts, who repeatedly claimed she was made to have sex with Andrew for the first time in the London townhouse of accused Epstein Madam Ghislaine Maxwell. Again with the madam. The co-conspirator, fellow disgusting beast is what she should be called, not the madam. The pressure, along with the new details against the late pedophile's global activities, is making Britain's top force reconsider its 2016 decision not to investigate, the Sun said, citing documents from a Freedom of Information application. So again, we see that the English media has a full court press on, folks. I am talking a full court press. There are tons of articles about this. Ask yourself, why is the legacy media in America not following suit? Ask yourself that. The force said its pre-investigation could be reopened in light of the current revelations and further victims coming forward, the documents say, according to the UK paper. There has been a renewed focus on Mr. Epstein's friends and associates, which could potentially instigate further criminal and/or civil investigations against these individuals, the force said. In my opinion, what's probably occurring is the FBI has probably contacted them, and they're probably going to work hand in hand here. That would be my guess, and in a perfect world, and if things worked correctly, that's how it would happen. And if it was normal people and not Epstein's friends, that's certainly what would be happening. But this is such a rare and extreme and unique circumstance that we've never traveled these roads before, so we really don't have a blueprint for what's going on here. Every day it's evolving, and we're having to choose which road we're going down. So it's all we can do is speculate, I guess, is the best way to wrap that part up, huh? The report follows a request by the Sun for copies of the force's decision-making in not launching a probe. Well, there you go, folks. The Met cited the possible reopened investigation as a reason for not producing the docs. If we were thinking that they were the good guys, we're wrong again. Oh, well, we have an investigation going on, so we can't give you these documents. The same BS the FBI does here in America, the same BS they're doing over Epstein's quote-unquote suicide in the MCC. So after they arrested the two guards, well, now it's an investigation. We can't give you any documentation on that. You can't see any of the stuff we're looking at. Give me a break, okay? Rather obvious what's going on right now. It's simple to see. The Sun previously revealed that the Independent Office for Police Conduct Watchdog is making inquiries over the decision not to fully investigate the alarming accusations. Well, we can all rest now, folks. We don't have to follow the case anymore. We can just all pack it in. I'm not going to do any more podcasts on it anymore because guess what? They're investigating themselves. And you know what? They have such a great track record that we should just, listen to them and trust them. What? Enough with the self-investigations, please. Andrew and Buckingham Palace have always denied the accusations against him. Epstein, 66, died in a Manhattan lockup August 10th while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't throw in he committed suicide at the end there, because, they always like to throw one of those in as well. Look, folks, this is absolutely ridiculous. Every single police department on 2 different continents, every single FBI or federal agent knew exactly who Jeffrey Epstein was. They knew exactly what he was. And they knew that Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein were thick as thieves. We're not talking about guys that hang out every once in a while. We're not talking about guys that are just, see each other at a social event, maybe have a couple of drinks, share a few laughs. And that happens a lot with these billionaires, right? This is a whole different ball game, folks. We know how close Prince Andrew was with Ghislaine Maxwell. And we know how close Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein were. So, if you really think that Jeffrey Epstein was not palling around with Prince Andrew, his big prize, you are not paying attention. Because it's obvious to anyone who is even just has an iota of what's going on in this case. It's obvious to them that Prince Andrew is an absolute liar. He is an absolute liar. And none of this stuff, none of this BS about the police department and closing investigations, none of it passes my smell test at this point, okay? It looks to me like the Met, I'm guessing that's their big police force or whatever. It looks to me like they're trying to save face, and they're like, all right, well, we better reopen this investigation. Shit's getting real. People are pissed off. And so they're going to try and save face, and they're going to get this investigation going, and let's see where it goes. We're going to pay very close attention to it, folks, just like we're paying very close attention to the cases here in America. Now, who knows if that's the case? I could be wrong, right? These guys could seriously be looking for justice, but their track record tells a different story, folks, and I'm going to be skeptical until they give me reason to be otherwise. All right, folks, if you'd like to contact me, you can do that at bobbycapucci@protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI@protonmail.com. If you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe link, which is in the description box. All right, everybody, I will be back tomorrow morning for your morning update, and then, of course, the daily drop. If anything significant happens in the afternoon, I'll hop on and I'll update that as well. But I'm working on a new project with Lee, who a lot of you know from this show, and it's going to do with celebrity deaths and the excitement around them. So we're going to record the first episode sometime tomorrow, and I will let you all know when it's produced and dropped, and then you guys could all check that out and see if it's something you dig. Either way, I will be back tomorrow right here with the daily drop like usual, keeping it going, folks. 117 straight, 117 strong, and I'm just warming up. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you tomorrow.